Today, I will teach you how to nail camel pose. Let's begin. Hello, and welcome to Asana with Jess. Standing at the top of our mat, bending at the knees, bringing the hands to heart center, and turning to the right, hooking the left elbow on the right knee. Starting today's practice with a gentle spinal twist. Inhaling and on the exhale returning to center, and this time turning to the left, hooking the right elbow on the left knee. And returning to center. Extend the legs out, straightening them. Step the right foot back into a low lunge and lower the knee to the mat, making sure your front knee is behind the ankle. Pushing forward and sinking into the hips. If you want to advance this pose, plant your hands on the mat and lift that back foot up, bending at the knee, making the foot come to you, reaching behind and grabbing it with your left hand. This intensifies the thigh stretch. From whichever version of this pose you are in, release out of it, planting the hands on the mat and pushing the left leg back into a low lunge. This time, step your right foot forward, lowering the left knee to the mat, remembering to keep your knee behind the heel and push forward and down through the hips. This pose provides a lovely quad stretch which will help you bend into the camel pose a little easier. Remembering there is the option to lift the back foot up, bending at the knee and holding onto it with the right hand. And slowly release that foot to the mat, stepping back into a plank position and taking a chaturanga. Untucking the toes for upward facing dog and taking a moment to breathe here. Feeling that gentle release all throughout the back. Lowering the knees to meet the mat and coming down onto your forearms, coming up into our baby cobra, gazing up towards the ceiling but making sure not to strain your neck. And slowly releasing your torso to the mat, resting your forehead on your hands. Lift the right foot, bending at the knee, and hold on to the outside of that right foot with your right hand. Using all of your strength on your exhale, lift that knee off the mat, pulling it in towards your body with your hand for a half bow pose. Slowly lower that knee to the mat and release that foot, lengthening it out. This time, lift the left foot, bending at the knee, grabbing onto the outside of that foot with the left hand. Inhale, and on your exhale, lift that knee off the mat, pulling that foot in towards the body and up. And slowly lower that knee to the mat, releasing that foot, lengthening it out behind you. Shifting your hands by your sides with the palms facing up to the ceiling, Inhale, and on the exhale, focus on lifting your chest off the mat, gazing forward. You can stay here, or for an added stretch, you can lift the back legs off the mat, tensing all of the muscles in your back and releasing. Moving on now, pushing yourself up into a kneeling position, resting your hips on your heels. Bring your hands behind you, resting on your lower back, fingertips pointing down. Gently arch the back, looking up towards the ceiling, preparing for our camel pose. You can stay here, or to advance this, you can come up onto your knees and do the same thing, leaning back, arching the back, looking up, thinking about lifting through the chest. After you have done this successfully and safely, you can tuck the toes under and see if you can bring your hands to your heels while arching the back and looking up. If this feels comfortable, you can untuck the toes, pressing the tops of your feet into the mat. And if this feels comfortable, you can tip your head all the way back for our full camel pose. Lifting through the chest, not collapsing, making sure your hips and knees are in line. To come out of this pose safely, keep your head tipped back and slowly, inch by inch, pull your body back to center. Gently tip the head back down, push back, hips to the heels for child's pose, a lovely counter pose. Moving your hands to your heels, holding on and tipping onto the crown of your head for our rabbit pose. Feeling that deep release in the upper back and coming into a kneeling position. Bring your right hand to the left knee, bringing the left hand behind you, looking over the left shoulder for a supine twist. And coming back to center, this time taking your left hand to the right knee, bringing that right arm behind you and looking over the right shoulder. And returning to center when you are ready, bringing your hands into our Anjali Mudra. Well done on working your way towards camel pose. Sending you love and light. Namaste.